I will not go into too much details, as some of the speakers will come and enunciate exactly the significance of today's gathering. However, I do want to add that, as some of you might know, when the scramble for Africa began, the colonial powers then did not think much of Namibia. Only years later to realize that it is a jewel, not only in terms of the natural resources that it has, but its people. Without any further ado, to give the official welcome this morning, ladies and gentlemen, let us please welcome the Vice Chancellor for the University of Namibia, Professor Kenneth Matengu. Let's give him a round of applause.
Geologist has also, the demand has increased even further. In as much as the technologies for exploitation of earth resources has increased, and so has the demand for more skilled workforce to enable training. In the United States, for example, the federal agencies offer a sciences education program for a variety of purposes, including the supporting missions and helping to build a pool of qualified scientists. These programs raise awareness of the field and encourage the retention of students. Although these programs operate independently, they can be thought of as part of a larger system that moves individuals along the path on earth science career. As a university, we have, of course, started with a very small department in the 90s, which has grown tremendously. As part of our staff development policy, we have sent a number of Namibians to study abroad in countries like South Africa, France, China, and elsewhere. Some of those graduates are also here, and I'll ask them to rise to just show those who recently completed
serves national interests and is very, very mindful of what the industry and all other stakeholders involved have to say about its operations. It's very respectful of that and encourages that type of dialogue and appreciates that this is a process that adds value towards the collective goal of creating a national work skill force. Noting that as well, appreciating the comments that were made, is that the University of Namibia has, as a national university, national mandates that transcend what an industry or what a specific objective might be met. So, as we might know, we have a university campus in the north that is illustrious and thriving, where similar criticisms did appear in terms of whether it will work or not. The university management is not saying that this will indeed work and it won't work, but we think these engagements are important. And when we look beyond what the industry needs and in terms of what the national objectives are, all of these things need to be considered and prioritized when these collective decisions are made. But without vying too much into that, our next speaker is from the geology department and will be giving us an in-depth look into how the department has grown so far and obviously highlight to us the significance of today's theme. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, a connoisseur in the field of geology, let us please put our hands together for Professor Akelma Kamona, lecturer in the geology department.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. First of all, we'd like to recognize His Excellency, the founding president of the Namibian nation, Dr. Sam Nujoma. It's a pleasure for you to be with us today. And we'd also like to recognize the presence of Honorable Minister of Mines and Energy, Mr. Tom Alwendo, as well as our Vice Chancellor, Professor Kenneth Matengu, and would also like to recognize the President.
Participated, and Namibia ranked 25th position globally out of the 122 jurisdictions that were surveyed in that particular year. Furthermore, the Geological Survey of Namibia was voted as one of the best geological surveys in the world. Although Namibia has, in the meantime, slipped down to 5th ranking in Africa, we should work very hard to claim the prestigious position that we attained in 2014. And I want to place on record that the Geology Department has contributed to this achievement as one of the factors considered in these surveys is availability of local skills in exploration and mining. I'm cognizant that 20 years has not been all rosy, and we shall be hearing more about that. There has been challenges on the way. I recall some years when the job market was flooded with graduate geologists who would not all be absorbed by the industry. The chamber appealed to Professor Kamona and his team to slow down on intakes and provide a breather for the industry to mop up most of the geologists that were on the streets.
Which now we have learned, but then how do we put those skills into practice? So, ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Mines and Energy has been a pillar in the last 20 years journey of UNAM Geology Department. Our doors continue to remain open for any assistance that we can offer to you in order for you to be able to achieve your goals. We took note of your industrial internship program in view of your work integrated learning initiative. We do our best to make provision in our annual planning to accommodate students who may need to undertake their internships at the Ministry of Mines and Energy. And I'll urge the champions of the mining industry through the Chamber of Mines, Mr. Malango, for you to continue to be able to do the same where internship can be offered to our students. A well-trained geoscientist is not only a great asset to any institution, but also an asset to the global community. Ladies and gentlemen, the Geology Department remains at the epicenter in ensuring that the country is well equipped with the skills and understanding that is demanded by competitiveness of the exploration and the mining industry. These skills are pivotal in ensuring that Namibia becomes a destination of investors in our mining sector. We therefore see you as a natural broker between society and the government. The type of research that the department does is important in informing our policies, because if you've got policies that are not informed by the reality, by knowledge, by skills, obviously those policies are going to be ineffective. And therefore, as we strive to improve the life of our people, we need to continue to leverage on the skills you are getting through the Geology Department. I am particularly grateful for the type of collaboration between the Geology Department and the Geological Survey of Namibia in the Ministry of Mines and Energy. And as it was said by Mr. Malango, we also hope by the time the department has moved to the southern campus, we will still be able to find effective means to have that collaboration to continue. I could see John was already starting a debate about how it could probably still work. Maybe we can still talk about that. But at the end, what we really all want to make sure is that it does not weaken the collaboration that they're already with other partners we have. Understanding of the Namibian geo-environment. I therefore believe that UNAM Geology Department has worked tirelessly to ensure the basic need of qualified geoscientists in the country is met. But here I would like to say, I have seen some of the faces of the students, of course, which are committed, people who went to study abroad. But I always think sometimes when it comes to skills development, there's always this feeling that we somehow as Namibians, even when we have studied, even when we have gone to all the universities, there's always this feeling that we are not the experts in our own areas. We still want to believe that others from somewhere else are more expert than we are. And therefore, I want to encourage you, as some of you have actually studied, you are the experts. There's nobody who knows more than what you know. And therefore, we really need to go out there with confidence to say, I know just as much than other people know, and sometimes even more. But that has to come from ourselves as confident. Otherwise, all the training we are giving, it will come to naught where every time we think that we need more skills. It is envisioned that by the year 2030...
Minister, another round of applause. And as we draw to close for the first part of the program, I just want to take this time to acknowledge some of the sponsors that have sponsored this event, as well as the department in general. Celsius Resources Ltd. Let's give them a round of applause. Gecko Exploration, Namibia Critical Metals Incorporated, Excel Dynamic Solutions, the Confucius Institute, Deep South Resources, and Lython Project Consultants. Thank you so much. We appreciate the collaboration. On that note, the next speaker is too high profile for me to even dare say his name, so I'll invite our Vice Chancellor, Prof. Kenneth Matengu, to come and invite him in front.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. I've been asked to invite and introduce a man who doesn't need any introduction. Our founding president, founding chancellor of the University of Namibia, an advocate of peace and unity, and an ambassador of the university and of the geology department, a man who has always emphasized that value addition is what this country needs to move out of poverty. An alumni of at least two of our partner institutions, and also an advocate of higher education. So please do join me in inviting His Excellency Dr. Samuyoma to address us.
Kamona, founding lecturer of the Geology Department, distinguished UNAM management and staff members, distinguished Mr. Weston Malengo, Chief Executive Officer, Chambers of Mines, distinguished invited guests present, distinguished UNAM students, esteemed member of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be with you on this historic day of the 20th anniversary of the UNAM Geology Department, which was established in 1998 with the first intake of 6 geology students, and I was one of them. I am delighted to note that since its inception in 1998, the Geology Department has grown from the initial 1 staff to 16 staff members, consisting of 11 male and 6 female staff. In addition, I am very much aware that you have produced a great number of geologists, including myself, who are now making a positive contribution to our Namibia economy in various sectors, including those in mineral exploration, mining, environmental assessment, hydrology consultants, as well as in government institutions such as the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Similarly, I'm aware of the financial difficulties and challenges that many exploration and mining companies are facing in Namibia due to the global recession, which has affected many countries, including Namibia. Unfortunately, this economic downturn has negative impacts on many world economies, resulting in numerous job losses and the lack of job opportunities for our university graduates, not only in the mining and exploration sectors, but also in the other commercial and manufacturers industries. Nevertheless, during these difficult times, it is important that we identify new opportunities which can be exploited in order to initiate new initiatives and ventures based on the largely untapped mineral and energy resources in Namibia, such as dimension stones and gemstones, as well as solar energy, whose exploitation can result in the generation of new jobs, opportunities, and wealth. I therefore challenge all UNAM graduates to focus on new potential opportunities which are out there and need to be discovered and exploited for the benefit of our nation. I wish you all the best in your quest to develop the geology department to the level of an international recognized institution. As I always say, a people united striving to achieve common good for all members of the society will always emerge victorious.